Do you like wrestling? Do you ever watch wrestling?
No. Nope.
And The Rock said, whoa, 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 whoa.
What's up, gang? Welcome to Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman, the podcast that breaks down the biggest stories in and out of the ring. I am your host. My name is Mike Wellman. Thank you for hitting that play button. We appreciate you here. As always, like I said, this is the podcast that breaks down the biggest stories in and out of the ring. This is episode 83 of Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman, if you can believe it. If you can believe that. You can believe we saw the return, folks, of Roman Reigns at SummerSlam this weekend. So we are going to talk about Roman Reigns coming back to give the assist to Cody Rhodes, giving a Superman punch to his cousin, Solo Sikoa. We're going to talk about the other matches at SummerSlam. CM Punk returned to the ring against Drew McIntyre and lost. Gunther became the world champion. Nia Jax became the women's world champion, or the women's champion. Liv Morgan retained the women's world championship. And spoiler, folks, we have a Liv and Dom update, and Mommy is out of the Judgment Day. That's the update, so, but we'll get to more of that. And if we got time, we're also going to talk about the Motor City Machine Guns possibly heading to WWE. So we got a lot to get to with SummerSlam and the Raw after SummerSlam. So let me bring on my esteemed co-host, folks, the man with no plan, the notorious wrestling fan, Kris. What's up, Kris?
What's going on? Glad to be here. Enjoyed the final Saturday SummerSlam.
Final one night SummerSlam, final Saturday SummerSlam. Next year will probably be John Cena's last SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe I didn't enjoy it, but we'll get to that.
Yes, we got a lot to get to, folks. So we're going to talk about Roman Reigns coming back. But before we go any farther, that's right. We need you to be kind, like, subscribe, and share. Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. Subscribe to the podcast, folks, wherever you find your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, Google. You already know, because you already found the podcast. Video on YouTube. Find us on social media. We are at W Wrestling Pod on X. I am at Mike Wellman 88 on X. Follow us on Facebook. We see you, Facebook Familia. Instagram, Watch Wrestling Pod. And yeah, we look forward to having zero problems, big fella. Big fellas. We'll get to some big fellas on this episode. Yeah. Odyssey Jones, folks. Got to talk about SummerSlam first. So, WWE Summerslam went down this past Saturday in Cleveland, Ohio. And we got a lot of information about Cleveland on the broadcast on the banks of Lake Erie. Downtown Cleveland. Cleveland Brown Stadium. Yeah. Did you notice that, Kris, that lately we've been getting more geographic road maps of the areas that WWE brings these premium live events to?
I did not really notice that, but now that you mention it, yeah. Like, is Kevin Nash back there? Is Jim Ross doing work?
It's got to be because of the site fees that they're getting from these places. They must be getting told, like, you need to fly 3 drones over our downtown area. Yeah. Make it a giant commercial for the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, I think I have been noticing more like a tourism for cities and stuff too, like commercials. Like, go to Cleveland.
Yeah, Michael Cole's been putting in a lot of work advertising these cities. They should make them do that with every town they go to. Even the B and C towns, you know?
Yeah, could you imagine Michael Cole talking about Worcester? That'd be amazing.
Come to beautiful Springfield, Massachusetts, folks. It's the site of the infamous D-Generation X in your house.
That's all he needs to say. Sold it.
Now, anyways. So, yeah, there was a lot of Cleveland on the broadcast. We had Mike the Miz was the host of SummerSlam.
Your favorite wrestler.
Nearly put me to sleep. My favorite sleep aid is the Miz. I saw his friend, your favorite guy there in the crowd, the front row. What's his name?
Oh, Mark Long.
Mark Long.
Yeah. Yep. My favorite wrestler. No.
Oh, God. My least favorite wrestler. I actually like The Miz more.
That's incredible. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, we had Jelly Roll performing. I was impressed with this song. I'm not a big listener of Jelly Roll. They said this was country music. This sounded just like Post Malone.
I know. Yeah, he's pretty fine.
He's got a decent voice there, that Jelly Roll. I was humming along that song after he performed it.
That's good. I'm telling you. Honestly, sorry to the beautiful city of Cleveland. I've never been there. I'm sure it's beautiful, but he was definitely the best Cleveland person. He's not even from Cleveland, but MGK, Logan Paul, The Miz. Come on, guys. No. Could you bring someone else out from Cleveland? Where was Drew Carey? That would have made it better.
Is Johnny Gargano from Cleveland?
Yes.
He's probably the best thing to come out of Cleveland then.
Yep. I think so. At least the most entertaining thing.
But yes, Cleveland ads aside, we finally got it, folks. It has been 4 months, but the Tribal Chief has returned. Roman Reigns came out at a pretty random moment, I thought, in the match to assist Cody Rhodes. Cody landed like a second rope Cody cutter, and then Roman's music hit.
Do you think that was because Jacob Fatu was hurt? I don't know.
I just thought it was weird timing. But it was also weird because Cody started to have a comeback in the ring with Solo, which why would you need Roman? Why would you feel compelled to come out and help Cody if he's fighting everybody off? But yeah, so before the match, we got to talk about this, folks. Before the match, Cody Rhodes, with the final walkout we will see of Pharaoh the dog, right? Cody's dog, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Says he's going to go back home with the pack now with the other dog, Cody's other dog, who he referred to as enhancement talent. Can you imagine calling your own dog enhancement talent?
No, that's one of the worst things he's ever said.
But so Cody hands off Pharaoh backstage because we've learned this lesson. You can't bring Pharaoh out there with the pyro and the people, right? It's not good. So
yes.
So sayonara to Pharaoh. But that's not it, folks. Because Arn freaking Anderson was backstage at SummerSlam with Cody.
Pretty awesome.
And he told Cody that Cody had some friends. Some that he knew and some that he didn't. You know what I think he was talking about?
What?
The Glock. I think Arn was prepared to come out there and do exactly what he said in that AEW promo, which is pull out the Glock and spill somebody's brains on the pavement.
I mean, Solo and Jacob Fatu are lucky that it was only Roman Reigns, I guess.
That's what I was expecting, folks. I was expecting Arn Anderson and a shooting, but we didn't get it. Instead, we got Roman Reigns.
So we got Roman Reigns and working.
No, so the second Cody was going to win the match against Solo, the former Guerrillas of Destiny, thank you, Michael Cole, for reminding us.
Yeah, that was incredible. I can't believe you said that.
I don't know what's going on with Tongaloa's eye, but I don't know if it's injured or what. But he wears
he's
an eye
just
patch.
selling, brother.
So
Kevin Owens, man, he hurt his eye. It's kayfabe.
Is it kayfabe though? That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't know. Who knows? We don't know anything about the bloodline. Okay.
So, they attack Cody, the Guerrillas of Destiny. Then we get who came out first? Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens comes out, and that was a long ramp or a long entranceway to have to run down to do a run-in. Man, I was watching people just sprinting. I'm like, these guys are going to be gassed out, blown up by the time they get to the ring. But no, Kevin Owens came in, fought like hell. Then next out, Randy Orton, right?
Yes, but he did not sprint, and I got to tell you, I really took out the run-in aspect. He kind of made it kind of like a joke. It looked like a joke to me when he just comes out all like nonchalant, like I'm gonna help you, but give me a break.
It was a nice brisk jog, for Randy. He probably looked down that ramp and was like, "No,
too old for this."
So then Jacob Fatu gets involved. This dude was going nuts in this match. He's just moonsault everywhere. And they go outside. He comes off. What was it? A big splash off the top?
Yeah.
And he's just instantly selling a ankle injury, right? And he's screaming. He's like literally throwing the announce chairs from a seated position on the floor. Like, how strong is this guy?
He looked pissed.
I know these are just like plastic chairs, but still, he's just chucking them from a seated position. But he was definitely acting as though he was really injured and couldn't continue. So then he kind of like tells Solo to go in the ring. So Solo goes in the ring, and Cody starts, like I said, to come back for like 5 seconds. Then we get this weird dum 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 dum. It was like this endless drum beat that we saw the Tron of Roman Reigns, but we didn't. The music didn't give it away. It was like constant drum beats for some reason.
Yeah.
So then Roman comes out. He didn't run either.
That's okay. He has aura.
So,
as the kids say,
the fight had to wait for him. So he comes down, and there was that moment where I even started to say it as he's coming down. I said, "Wait a sec. We have not seen this man in 4 months. What's he gonna do? He's in there with his cousin Solo Sikoa, his former enforcer, and his arch nemesis who beat him and took his championship, Cody. So what did we get? A Superman punch to Solo. Thank you very much. The tribal chief is back, folks."
Which we were all waiting for. I do think, like, some people are thinking that Jacob Fatu was supposed to like get back in the ring, and it was going to be 2-on-1 to bring Roman out to help Cody, but he hurt himself. But I actually kind of think they were. I think they were trying to make you think like you were, like, oh, is he going to hit Cody Rhodes, not Solo? Who knows what he's going to do? But I think everyone knew what he was going to do. They really didn't build that very well to be like, who's he going to hit?
Well, no, they didn't build it at all. It was just a split-second thought that they also didn't build the opposite either. Remember, like I said on the last episode, They didn't build Roman's return whatsoever. So they could have done a swerve there, and
that's true.
He could have hit Cody, but he wouldn't have done that.
I thought he was going to hit both or something, but whatever. I think we were all waiting for that to happen, though. So that's why, like, we were just all waiting for run-ins. So the match was kind of like ho-hum.
Yeah. So Cody then hit, I believe, 2 crossroads on Solo. I think that's what happened. And he got the win, retained the WWE Championship, and that's that. The Bloodline story is over. Nope. Yeah. Roman, that was it. We'll see you again in 4 months for another run-in. No, Roman's going to be back on SmackDown this Friday, folks. So, it's not going to be another 4 months, luckily. So, what do you think overall of the return here from Roman Reigns?
I think it was much needed. I don't want to say it was lackluster because everyone loved it, but like you said, there was no real build. There was like ghost build. Like we all kind of knew it could happen. I guess that's okay, but yeah, there was no real build, and we're just waiting. It was kind of, I don't know. It's great that he's back, and I think this is actually going to build to something way better, like the Bloodline versus the Bloodline, if that's where they're going, is going to be awesome. And having having Roman back, and hopefully Paul Heyman comes back soon, and the Usos will be back, and then Sami Zayn will join. It'll be great.
Well, that's where Big E was going on the post show. He was already talking about a Bloodline Civil War. Roman came back and threw one punch, and Big E's already talking about a Bloodline Civil War on the post show.
That's how you build. You gotta get the announcers to do it, but this will go. I don't think it'll be like not remembered. It'll be like, oh, Roman came back at SummerSlam. It was awesome, because I think what's leading down the path is going to be so great that it'll be thought like it'll be remembered like Roman's return. It was so awesome, but really in the moment it was just like expected and just like not run of the mill, but like it was just at like another day. That's what we thought. That's what happened. Cool. Another day on the job.
That was kind of the whole show, except for the Liv Morgan. I would say they got us good on that one, but everything else kind of, was also pretty ho-hum about this show. So we got in the World Championship match, this was probably the best match of the night. Gunther versus Damian Priest.
Yes.
And, Gunther wins. Finn Balor turns on Damian Priest. I thought this was very nicely done because the Judgment Day story, we've kind of not been able to get a beat on where they're going, per se.
Yeah.
We just kind of know they're going somewhere because there's two things going on, right? There's the Rhea Liv Morgan feud, and then there's also the Damian Priest Finn Balor friendship kind of falling apart. So Finn Balor finally did it, cost Damian Priest the world championship, and Gunther, the world champion, folks. The belt looks good on him.
I love it. I think Damian Priest was a great champ. And I think he was so good in the match too. Like his rise from the dead in the sleeper and him going right after Finn Balor and choking him. Awesome moment. He came out looking like $1 million.
Yeah, I actually think that the match the next night on Raw, Priest versus JD McDonough, was a better match than anything on SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we also had Drew McIntyre getting the win over Philip Seymour Punk. This match I thought could have been a lot better. I was expecting a lot more.
I agree, but I do think that Punk was good. Punk looked good, and he didn't get hurt. So I think we got to give 2 thumbs up for that. Hey,
there you go. He came back, had a match, didn't get hurt. No, he did look actually like he was in really good shape, and it wasn't a boring match. There was a lot going on. It was just a lot going on with the bracelet,
I know. I don't think we built that up enough. I don't think anyone cares enough about that for that to be such an important thing, but you gotta have some story, I guess.
Like, why did Seth Rollins decide to put on that bracelet? Like, he's just, CM Punk looks at him, like, he's just like, now you're wearing the bracelet.
I know. After, years of watching wrestling where, if someone's, glasses fall off or something, the ref just kind of kicks it, out of the ring. This is the one thing that the ref actually puts on. Unless he was just doing it to be an asshole.
So they did run back the SummerSlam 97 spot, Heart and Soul. Bret Hart versus The Undertaker for the WWF Championship with Shawn Michaels as the referee. Shawn Michaels goes to hit The Undertaker. Undertaker ducks. He instead hits Bret. In this match, at one point, CM Punk or Seth Rollins goes to hit Punk with the chair. He swings, almost hits Drew. Punk ducks. Punk also happened to be dressed like Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yes. That's why he did it, I would assume.
So,
I wish that Seth Rollins did more of a reluctant 3 count, though, and kind of got out of the ring fast like Shawn Michaels did, but it's okay.
Seth Rollins wearing some bedazzled referee gear. This was some of the most fancy, ornate referee gear I've ever seen. It's like, if you could let the referees get a little style here, this, let's see what these guys can. Let's let them make their own gear. As long as it's like a certain, there has to be a standard. But then after that, let's let them bedazzle it up.
Yeah, make the refs buy their own gear. Cool. Actually, it'd be fun.
Let them have some flair.
Give me that ref cam too.
Oh, the ref cam. Yeah, Seth Rollins, that lasted about 5 seconds. The second the battery fell out of his pocket, he's like, screw this. He's just ripping cords off his body. Like a person trying to get out of a hospital bed.
Ref cams are dumb anyway. They always been dumb.
It's just not a good, I'd almost rather them wear a full mounting, piece of gear if it's going to keep it steady,
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's always, right next to the face, and then you don't get a good angle. It's a weird thing. But yeah, they tried that. We didn't get any good footage off of it that I could tell. But, yeah, this match, like I said, thought it was going to be a lot better. Then we had Nia Jax nearly murdering Bayley with 2 bonsai drops.
Yeah. Fine. I mean, this one had a little intrigue. I think this whole show was basically setting up for the future because Tiffany Stratton with the briefcase and Nia Jax with the title. Awesome. I love how that's going to play out. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah, that cash-in is going to be great. When Tiffany wins the belt, hopefully from Nia, I think is what they're...
I mean, yeah, that'd be the best story.
Then we had... we could do the Liv Dom update. They're back together, folks. Liv and Dom. They're back together, folks, because Dom, in this match, first he pulls the chair away from Rhea. You know, a little ambiguous there, not sure where he was going when he stops Rhea from using the chair. Then, nope, turns on Rhea Ripley. It's over.
He did a pretty good job, I think, in this match, and I think they really like worked it very well too. Where like the chair placement and him like doing like he was good. Dom is good. Let's just put it out. All right, he's very good.
He was a good second, or he's a good valet for Liv.
I know that's really what he is. He's like a top tier valet. Yeah.
So Dom and Liv are together. Mommy is out of the Judgment Day. Damian Priest is out of the Judgment Day. We learned the next night on Raw from Finn Balor the whole story. Damian Priest became world champion, decided to be the leader of the Judgment Day when originally there wasn't supposed to be any leaders. So they essentially kicked him out. And now Liv Morgan is in the Judgment Day. Carlito is in the Judgment Day. How did he get in the Judgment Day?
I know.
What did he do to earn it? At least Liv is bringing chicken nuggies and Xbox 360. What is Carlito bringing to the table here?
Besides apples? I don't know.
I don't think he's won any of the matches they sent him out in.
I do think Carlito's good, though. But like he really is just kind of like their goofy friend.
He's carrying their bags, so.
We'll see where it goes.
It's
fun.
Judgment Day.
Yeah, I think Finn Balor. This is where Finn Balor is the best, when he's just like this like a-hole, like vengeful heel. So I'm looking forward to this as well. Another thing where it's setting it up,
Yeah, the Finn Balor and Damian Priest feud is going to be good. And then, like I said, the match that JD had with Priest was great. So I like the new Judgment Day. I also like that, Damian Priest can kind of go out on his own now, and he had a pretty good promo on Raw, I thought, too.
Yeah, he definitely came out strong in everything so far. Winning the title was great for him. And Liv and Dom is great. The Judgment Day is very fun. And now there's and Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest are just as over as ever. Well done.
And you know what I got to say to those chicken nuggies?
Let's be having you.
As you should.
Let's be having you.
I mean, I could do without the Xbox 360, but more of a PlayStation person myself. But yeah, we'll see where the Liv and Dom story goes from here, folks. We'll see where Rhea Ripley goes from here. She wasn't happy about all this.
I wonder, she's eventually going to have to win the title back, I would assume. But who knows?
Where can they go? They've already both injured each other.
I know. Mixed. I feel like it's going to be, are we going to mixed tag for a while? I don't know. Because Damian Priest is kind of feuding with Finn Balor. Who knows?
Yeah, so anything else from go ahead.
I think they should do, which they're not gonna, but I really do want to see Dom versus Rhea Ripley. But they don't like to do this kind of stuff. They don't do intergender matches, but I think that'd be awesome.
I wonder if they'd be open to it now with the new new management there.
Because I think Dom could handle getting power bombed by Rhea Ripley. He's no Mark Marrow, okay? He'll be fine.
Mark Marrow got power bombed by Sable, folks.
It basically ended his career.
Dom could come back from it.
Oh, yeah. And I think they should. I would love to see that. But we'll see. It's interesting, at least.
So, we didn't talk about Jelly Roll and the 5-knuckle shuffle.
Awesome chokeslam by him, too.
Yeah, that chokeslam was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a pretty decent chokeslam from Jelly Roll at SummerSlam. But yes, what else happened on Raw? Oh, Odyssey Jones happened. Let's talk about Odyssey Jones. Can we, please? And then we can talk about something else. But yeah, so what even was the match? It was was it a tag match?
Yeah, it was the 45th match between Final Testament and the New Day. It was AOP versus New Day. Yeah,
the Authors of Pain, which Odyssey Jones picked up both of the Authors of Pain. He picked up the whole library of Pain in one and just dropped them. That was impressive.
It was impressive. He looked very good, too.
Yeah, he just came out of nowhere to help the New Day. Literally just walked up behind Karrion Kross, just started wrecking the whole group. This was a pretty impressive showing, I think, for Odyssey Jones. This was his Raw debut, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was drafted to Raw, I think, like 6 years ago. But
that's good. I mean, hey, I kind of like it. He did look very impressive, and Kofi will need someone when Xavier Woods turns finally.
I instantly noticed that Kofi was hype for Odyssey Jones' arrival. Woods, not so much. Woods, a little, hesitant here.
I hope when Xavier Woods turns on Kofi, he doesn't join the Final Testament because it doesn't make sense. Like they always lose and they're dumb. So why would he want to go join them? So we'll see where that goes too.
Yeah, I don't know what is going through Woods' mind, but Odyssey Jones, a 400+ pounder, folks, gigantic. I'm not going to say he moves like a cruiserweight, but he's pretty fast for his size.
Yeah. Making AOP look little. I mean,
he picked them both up, but it was impressive.
Absolutely.
What else we got here from Raw before we talk about the Wyatt Sicks match? What else?
Randy Orton?
Oh, yes. Gunther, the new world champion, folks, came out on Raw. And already we have his first challenger because Randy Orton, who keeps saying Gunther is from Germany. I thought he was from like Austria.
Yeah, Austria.
But the Bash, folks, is in Berlin. And Randy Orton has challenged Gunther. And there's a good story behind it, I think. They're using the fact that Gunther legit didn't pin Randy Orton at the King and Queen of the Ring. Randy Orton's shoulder was just not on the mat. And Randy did some good exposition here, saying that he knows that the ref's decision is final, just in case. He's not bringing it back up to rehash the actual decision of the King of the Ring finals, but he's letting you know that he's here because of it,
Super logical. I love it. I also love the idea of Randy Orton being Gunther's first opponent. I know Randy Orton's always in like the title hunt, so it's like sometimes it's stale with him, but like these people, they're like only had that one match, I believe. And even if they didn't, it's not very much interaction. And he's like a bona fide superstar. So have Gunther go through him first. I love it.
Yes, I think it's going to be a great match for sure. Randy Orton commenting about how he's capable of having a match like a Flair Steamboat, but he's not sure if Gunther is. It's like, well, Gunther had the match of the year, I thought, last year at WrestleMania, but,
Yeah.
Does that mean, yeah.
I mean, if Randy Orton's trying to plant our seeds that Gunther's going to have to do that for a match, I'll take 45 minutes of that. I don't know if Randy Orton could have a Steamboat Flair match, Mr. Orton. Who are you?
I'll take 5 stars, Randy Orton. I think he can.
Gotta hope so. They all used to say that. I remember when he was young, they would all say Randy Orton's top tier, and he was very good. He's always been good.
It's one of the greatest of all time.
I know. I feel. I don't know. I gotta retrain my brain to love Randy Orton. I just got so sick of him for so long. I know it's not cool, but
he's one of the most gifted wrestlers to ever grace the squared circle, and he has had the longevity of few others in this wrestling business. Wrestling fan Chris, you should know this.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, you know what I got to say to you, Chris?
Very good.
Thumbs down.
That was great.
I'm so glad you can see the camera now. I can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's still going to be great. I'm looking forward. Yes, man. SummerSlam, even if it was a little lackluster, the Raw afterwards really set up a bunch of awesome stuff to take us to Survivor Series, I would assume.
Yeah, and Bash and Berlin.
Well, yeah. Obviously that first, but I mean, setting up so much good stuff.
Have you ever been to Berlin?
No.
How about Bratislava?
No.
Well, this bus is going to Bratislava, not Berlin. It's like
one day I'll get there.
The Lex Express to Bratislava. Never going to Berlin.
What would those Bratislava ad reads Michael Cole doing would sound like, I wonder.
Yeah, beautiful Bratislava on the putrid banks. No.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm sure it's lovely.
Yeah, we'll see what Michael Cole has to say about Berlin. But yeah, so CM Punk coming out. First of all, congratulating his teammate Bilal Muhammad winning the UFC welterweight title. And coming out talking about how, even though he lost, he's still happy for some reason. I think he said he was happy that everybody's chanting his name. It's like, we know you're happy that everyone's chanting your name. We know.
He's still on it, yeah.
Like, we know. They're chanting your name, and you like it. And then, of course, the crowd chanted CM Punk again. You know what I think it is? It's like Punk is like in that Jericho phase where he like needs the reinforcement, Where he's like...
Oh, yeah. Especially since he just got hurt a bunch, so he needs it.
So then Seth Rollins comes out, and they're fighting, so that's good. But then Seth Rollins gets taken out by none other than what is he called? The Bronster? The Monster?
Yeah, I think it's the Bronster, yeah.
The Bronster? Bronson Reed. I mean, he is a monster, taking out Seth Rollins. I mean,
yeah.
It took... Everybody was out there. Who did I see out there? Petey Williams? Ken Doane? Was Ken Doane out there?
Yeah, he was.
I was waiting for a moonsault from Ken Doane. I was waiting for a Canadian Destroyer from Petey Williams to try to take out Bronson Reed. All of the former wrestlers were out there.
The whole Spirit Squad.
They should have Abyss come out one day as one of like the producers, like the agents coming out, but in the Abyss, like a suit, but in the Abyss mask. And then he's just like trying to separate, like he's the one like can hold Bronson Reed back, but then it's like, it's like you separate him, and then for some reason the Monster Abyss is wearing a suit, and then it's like Bronson Reed pisses off Abyss, and it's like he's got one match left.
I like it.
Do we think Abyss has one match left? No.
He could choke someone into thumbtacks, though, I think.
I'm here for an small Abyss run in WWE. And that's how you start it. He comes out as one of the agents.
In the Abyss mask, though.
And you don't talk about it. He's wearing the suit, but just the Abyss mask. And then, maybe like Bronson, he gets just like an errant elbow or something, and he just like snaps.
I'd be cool with that.
And now he's back to the Monster Abyss. K-Fab and the Ribs backstage.
Monster versus Bronster.
No, didn't they give him a nickname? Bronson Reed? Am I making that up?
No, yeah, but I don't. I think it's dumb. Let's find out what it is real quick, because
it's the Bronster.
Fine.
The Bronster among men. At least I'm not having to do the gravity walk while we look this one up.
I know, that was, what a time. Will I be able to find it, though, is the question. For all I'm getting here, his name is just Big Bronson Reed. That's it.
Well, that's been for a few weeks, but I thought there was something newer.
I don't know if you're ahead of the game. You probably have clocked a nickname before everyone.
Big Bronson Reed.
Do you think that he's... Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, how many tsunamis did Seth Rollins take from him? 7? 8?
As many as was needed, okay? Do you think that he's working with Punk, or is this just something random?
So far, I think he's just us trying to establish himself by taking out Rollins. Although, hasn't he been used before as a muscle by like The Miz? Isn't that how he came back?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Punk's not usually the guy to hire, a muscle.
I know. Maybe I'm just dreaming of Punk.
A hired gun.
Yeah, maybe I want Punk to lead a faction again, like the Straight Edge Society. Obviously, this wouldn't be that, but I think it'd be cool. That's the Jim Herd? No.
I don't know why we went down that little rabbit hole there, but
Now we know. Now everyone knows.
so yeah, and then we got the in-ring debut. I thought this was good of the Wyatt Sicks against American Made, which I like their gear. Chad Gable, Brutus Gable, Julius Gable,
That's their names, yes.
Bronson Gable.
Gable Steve. No, never mind.
No. The Creed brothers are paired with Chad Gable, and this makes sense. This pairing grouping makes sense. It also makes sense that Ivy Nile was backstage talking to Maxine, and Maxine's like, "What the heck? These guys were just beating up Tozawa and Otis. Why are you?" And she's like, "Meh, you know."
Yeah.
They're kind of like tying up these little loose ends about why people aren't friends anymore, and you really don't need very much more than that. You can just have somebody come over and be like, "Hey, you're hanging out with those guys. They beat up those guys. I'm hanging out with those guys." It's like, yeah, happens.
Yep. That's all I need. Thanks for addressing it.
Exactly. Just acknowledge it and move on. So yeah, so I like Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. The camera angle of them talking before they walk out, and then the Wyatt Sicks. Wyatt Sicks comes out, and Michael Cole was able to fill us in on the Wyatt Sicks. And you know what I noticed is that we got this video about Joe Gacy, and Michael Cole's like, "Here's like the backstory about Joe Gacy and why he thinks he's Huskus the Pig Boy," and it was like 1 minute of Joe Gacy just being like, like, what's the backstory? Like he's just sitting on the floor. It's just like cut up footage.
Yeah, some of it's all cool stuff, and I'm just gonna let it go because it's cool. But some of it maybe didn't hit. But Joe Gacy looked good in the ring I actually care about Joe Gacy now for the first time in my life.
Yeah, so they come out, and Uncle Howdy was with them, and then he and Nikki Cross, who they are calling, is this their shoot name, Nikki Cross? Because she's also Abby the Witch.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah,
Nikki Cross is her shoot name. Real name. And her and Uncle Howdy watched the match from the aisle. And this was a hard-hitting match. I think the Creed brothers and Chad Gable are the perfect first intro opponents for this crew, because it can be a wrestling match, and it can be hard-hitting and fast, and they're talented, but they can also just be fodder to eat all these guys' moves, like Uranagis and splashes and everything.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
So, and it's not, they don't add like a different layer of awkwardness to it where it's like, oh, this doesn't mesh well, or these guys don't gel. It's like, nope. And then Dexter Lumis, it's probably the best match he's ever had.
Yeah.
This was pretty decent.
Fit right in.
So I liked the team. I liked their style. Eric Rowan, huge man,
big man. Yes,
very fast too, for his size. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So overall,
good. I like Uncle Howdy at ringside, laughing away. Bo Dallas. I think that Bo Dallas is doing a great job being a crazy Uncle Howdy and also kind of being like Bo Dallas as well. Who knew Bo had that? Bo had that in him,
JR knew.
Well, of course. By God, Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas, folks. Ross report. You have this guy down there in NXT named Bo Dallas, folks. Not gonna wanna miss out on this.
That's great. Oh man, I do think you're right though, and also after this feud is over, Gable and the Creed brothers are fine. They can just go back to being superstar wrestling guys, and I don't think it'll hurt at all. Even if they never win in this feud, it's okay with me. They can take all the moves, make it work, and then go on to be these awesome wrestling guys again. Yeah.
So we'll see if there's a singles match. Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy. I just want to see Uncle Howdy in a singles match. I think. You can do a lot of moves in a group setting, and that was good. But you got to see Uncle Howdy. What his move set is. We've seen one very, very crisp Sister Abigail from Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
But we need to see more, I think.
I was interested, is he going to, like, just take the mask off, wrestle in the mask? I don't know. A lot more layers. I'm waiting for more stories.
Yeah, so in the match, Michael Cole was giving us some backstory on these Wyatt Sicks. And apparently, Joe Gacy thinks he is Huskus the Pig Boy. Okay. And Dexter Loomis, real name Dexter Loomis.
That's right.
Thinks he is Mercy the Buzzard, apparently. He thinks he's a buzzard. And maybe that's why he's got dreadlocks. And I don't know if they actually said Rowan thinks he's Rambling Rabbit.
I don't think they did.
But he came out wearing a fuzzy vest.
I mean, yeah.
Bunny Man.
That's why she's Abby the Witch, because she thinks she's Abby the Witch too.
Yes, so she thinks she's Abby the Witch. That's all we get, is they think they are the characters. I like my idea better, which is that they are the characters.
Yeah, I wonder where they're going to go.
But we can't do that because because Uncle Howdy, the story is that he went to their house and delivered all these handwritten letters to them, which we saw him write in marker.
Yeah. If he's brainwashing them, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, because Bo Dallas is Bo Dallas, and he's in Adam Pearce's office and stuff, and then there's Uncle Howdy. So I don't know.
Well, all he was doing was he was getting his videotapes. He went into Adam Pearce's office because he didn't want to have to make it so Abby the Witch, Nikki Cross, has to keep bringing these tapes out every week. He wanted direct access to the truck.
Fair.
You know?
Put that in the contract, brother.
And then now you have Michael Cole. He's just out here saying, all right, this is our latest Uncle Howdy update. And then we just cut right to it.
Still good. I think this is with no disrespect to Bray Wyatt, it's not his fault, but like at least this is progressing. This is the most this like Uncle Howdy character or some of these darker characters have ever progressed on TV. So that's good.
Well, to be fair, this is the most like any characters have ever progressed in WWE television, right? All the stories have, I mean, even like we were just talking about Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile just chatting in the back. That's like the most character progression. That's more than what we would have had in like 2019. It's
like Triple H has so many hits, but he just can't seem to get Ciampa and Gargano, right? That's the only thing.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, we should talk about that. Folks, we have Triple H's first miss on our hands, and it was taking those tag team titles off of DIY. Why even give them the titles in the first place if you're just going to take them off right away? What kind of hot shot booking is this?
Correct.
Huh? Greenwich, Connecticut booking.
Is Russo back? God.
Don't make me call you the George R.R. Martin of booking again. Okay, Hunter? Come on. Finish the story. Put the belts back on DIY. Enough of this. How dare you put the belts on them? I mean, that was the greatest tag team title win in years in WWE. To just hot shot it onto who? Who? Exactly.
I don't even remember.
Just not a fan. You know what I got to say to you, Triple H, about that booking decision?
That's correct.
Just like Batista.
Poor DIY.
No, I mean, well, why would you do that? Why would you do that, Chris?
I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, if it was, yeah, I don't know. They didn't have to.
Well, I know why. It was because they wanted the Bloodline to look strong going into SummerSlam. But now they've got a potential injured member of the Bloodline, the tag team champion, and the other one is Tama Tonga. So,
I know, but you still could have had like. DOI didn't have to lose the belts to them. It could have just been Waller and Theory. Who cares?
They should have politely declined to drop the titles. You know?
That always works.
It's like, we've worked hard to get these. We're going to keep them for a while.
Sorry, pal.
we thought about it. We talked it over. If it was the Road Warriors, that's exactly what they would have said, and they would have been like, okay.
I mean, R-Truth was calling him Shawn Michaels and Triple H, right? I mean, take a page from their book, buddies.
Exactly. Take a page. You want to be like DX? Take a page from DX's book. No. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. I was not a fan of that tag title switch on SmackDown the other night. Boo.
Great, yeah.
Speaking of great tag teams that may be gracing the WWE ring, you want to talk about this Motor City Machine Gun story?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Folks, we've been seeing the Motor City Machine Guns wrap things up on the independents. They're done in Impact. They're just wrestling each other on the indies. And they seeming to be saying goodbye to fans in the bingo halls. Right? And the word on the street, folks, the rumor is, the reports are that Alex Shelley, Kris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns are heading to World Wrestling Entertainment. Most likely Central Florida.
Yeah.
Parking lots. Dangerous places.
Just stay out of those parking lots.
Yeah, so it seems like we might be seeing the Motor City Machine Guns. I know that they were kind of back and forth on AEW and WWE. They seem to have decided on WWE. Would you have rather seen them in AEW or WWE?
If they're going to be in NXT, I'd rather that. Because people just get lost in AEW, you know?
I think
Especially
people are
Jack,
getting
for
lost
some
in
reason.
NXT.
I guess that's true. But I mean, it doesn't hurt as much, I guess.
Well, I know that they both, they've had long careers. I remember buying those $10 TNA, NWA TNA pay-per-views back in the day on my parents' cable bill
Hell yeah.
to watch, Kris Sabin. Only Kris Sabin. That's why I did it. And, so they've been around for a while. So I feel like maybe they could be looking at, like potentially like coaching roles, as well. That might be, there might be more opportunities for that in WWE.
That's probably true.
Or they might just come in and have a crazy run in WWE. Who knows?
Plus, I mean, they've been around for long. I know AEW doesn't travel that much, but if you can just stay in Florida, just work in Central Florida, that's a pretty big perk too, I would say.
But I think you're right about they could get lost in AEW because think about it. Where could they make a bigger splash? It is WWE because they've never really. It's like you would almost guess that they would go to AEW because of the type of wrestlers they are, the type of wrestlers that are already in AEW, the matches they could have, all that stuff, and then, But it's like you said, they could just get lost in the shuffle. Great. It's like two more 5-star wrestlers. Great.
Yeah, I know.
AEW. It's like okay.
And I mean, I don't think Sabin's ever even appeared in WWE, right? Alex Shelley came in and worked with Kushida in NXT for a little bit, only for a week or two, but at least he's been around a little. I don't think Sabin's ever been around at all. I'm sure he's dreaming about being in WWE.
Yeah, that I don't know.
I mean, even if you're only going to be in NXT or maybe be a coach, at least you can fulfill your dream, I would assume.
Well, if they still have Bully Ray on the Legends contract, maybe we could finally get a Kris Sabin Bully Ray rematch.
Listen, that's too big for NXT, okay? That's WrestleMania caliber.
I was just going to say, at WrestleMania.
Bully Ray. God, does he annoy me?
Yep.
He kind of makes me mad that I like the Dudley Boys. Isn't that weird?
I still love the Dudley Boys. I still am sometimes back and forth on whether they're the greatest tag team of all time. I know I brought up the Road Warriors a few minutes ago. It's tough. It's a tough conversation to have who the greatest tag team of all time is. But
yeah.
I feel like it's a revolving cast of about 5 teams. And if you ask me on any given day, I might say the Road Warriors. I might say the Dudley Boys. I might say the Hardy Boys. I might say Edge and Christian. say the team of RVD and Kane.
I might say X-Pac and Kane. Daniel Bryan and Kane. Wow, Kane's like a low-key tag team Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's had a lot of partners. The Undertaker.
Yeah, of course.
X-Pac, RVD. That's what we should. That's the match we need. We need X-Pac and Kane against the Motor City Machine Guns.
Hey,
in NXT.
X-Pac was all over SummerSlam, so.
Yeah, we haven't seen Glenn Jacobs back in the mix here. Thank God.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
But yeah, we got off track talking about the Motor City Machine Guns. There are a lot of matches for them, I think, on the main roster of WWE. Like we were just talking about DIY. I mean, come on. Yep. You could have a whole feud. Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY.
Oh, they should do that.
Motor City Machine Guns versus Awesome Truth. Dream match.
Another WrestleMania. You're booking WrestleMania today, bud.
You can't have... I mean, even WrestleMania can only be so big, right? It's like you can't... You have to have a 3-night WrestleMania for these matches.
How about Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns? I like that.
I mean, I would say the Authors of Pain, but they just got taken out by Odyssey Jones, so.
Yeah, they're going to be out for a while.
They got to build back up a lot after being taken out, both Authors of Pain, by one Odyssey Jones.
Plus, we like feuds that where a team actually might have a chance to win, and I think AOP is like 0-15 since they came back, so take it easy.
All right. We got anything else to talk about, wrestling fan Chris? I gotta go sign up for CoffeeZilla's Patreon.
Hell yeah.
All right, folks, that about does it for this episode of Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. Thank you for sticking with us to the end of this show. Thank you for sticking with us to the end of the Odyssey Jones. We will be back next week. Not sure what we're going to talk about next week. We're getting closer to All In, although that's not until the end of the month. So I got to check the calendar to see what we're going to talk about.
I'm sure something will come up.
Next week. I'm sure something will come up on this
Always
Odyssey
does.
Jones that we call life, folks. So be sure to subscribe at Watch Wrestling Pod on Facebook, at Watch Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, at W Wrestling Pod on Twitter. You know where to find the podcast. You know where to find the Odyssey Jones. What does this button do?